I didn't think you were coming.
What?
Nothing. What the hell is that?
I don't know.
Kids, better every day.
Let me take a break.
Maybe a short one. This is Joanna, an old friend of mine. How well do you know her? No, don't even think about it.
Is that obvious, eh?
Joanna and I were married for 3 years.
He seems to think that you and I have a lot in common.
Really?
I gotta go.
You were gonna choose a trip to Wisconsin over more incandescent sex with me.
That was the hospital in Racine. Joanna's in quarantine there. She's infected with CDAD.
C. difficile. Just one of a whole number of bacteria living in our intestines.
Basically, your colon swells shut. Eventually, nothing passes through.
And we found where it was hiding. In a plant, David.
The soil of a potted plant.
Mums, they were sold as a local fundraiser for spina bifida research. David, are you still there?
I got the results back of the plants from the greenhouse, and only the mums tested positive for C. difficile.
Where'd the mums come from?
Can't the CDC or the NIH deal with this?
I'm on my way to the airport to check this out, Wes. I'd like to know where the hell I'm going. I'll look into it.
Hey. Thought you were on your way to Michigan. Not anymore. Why not?
The memorial's a family affair.
You're not family?
Not in Joanna's parents' minds.
So,
Where are you going?
we are going to the airport.
David, can't you handle this on your own?
Yeah, I can do this on my own. But I was gonna go find out about what killed Joanna. I just thought you might be interested.
David, I've got an address.
You barely knew Joanna. Why would you offer her a job? I barely knew you when I offered you a job. True, but that's not an answer. I thought we might have worked well together. I just didn't want to see Joanna get hurt again. Yeah.
Total overreaction. I'm shipping $175,000 worth of product tomorrow.
No, you're not. We believe that the soil in your potted plants and in your fields is contaminated.
Bullshit. I'm as environmentally friendly as you can get. No chemicals, no additives, nothing.
All right, are you putting anything new on your fields? Fertilizers, bulb seedlings?
Nothing like that.
Are any of your employees sick?
Usual.
We're going to have to do blood tests. What about your water system?
Spring-fed irrigation. 90% of the water I use goes back into the aquifer in drinkable condition.
Well, look, until we find out where that bacteria is coming from, you're shutting down. That's all there is to it.
I don't ship these plants in 24 hours. I'm dead.
And if you do, somebody else might be.
This land has been in my family for 3 generations. And suddenly you hotshot Canadians come down here and start throwing your weight around. What the hell is this?
Actually, I'm Mexican.
Mind if we borrow one of these?
Will it get you out of here faster?
No guarantees. Hey, Rachel. Listen, I want you to look into something for me.
Hey, Bob.
Yep.
I've got some new data from Zurich on 2 antibiotics, vancomycin and metronidazole.
Maybe they'll be more effective on the C. difficile than the others I've tested.
Guys, I just got a call from David. They're on the farm. He's going to be sending back a load of samples to be PCR'd.
Okay, I'll have a team ready to analyze results as soon as you get them to me. Great.
Rachel, I need to do another set of kill curves on new antibiotics. Is your containment room available?
Be my guess.
Oh, Mako, will you bring the Zurich data over?
Yeah, no, I've got it right here.
So,
So what?
Milo.
He's really nice.
Just nice?
Gotta get these to Bob. Hey.
Rachel? Do you have a minute? Hey, could you get that for me?
Here, wait, I'll get the door for you.
Wisconsin health call.
Oh, yeah?
It looks like the situation is stabilized. No reports of new cases.
And the plants?
Everything that was sold has been tracked down and destroyed.
What about the greenhouse?
Sterilized.
Good. Well, let's hope David can find the source of the farm, huh? About us. What we're doing. I'm a little concerned.
Why?
If David finds out.
I know.
And I think Mako's already suspicious.
Maybe we should start taking separate cars.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Mako, will you bring the Zurich data over?
Yeah, no, I've got it right here.
So,
How do I Rachel?
Hi.
Hey, can you get that for me?
Here,
Yes.
yeah, I'll get the door for you.
Thanks.
Okay, so here's the data. We've got another batch that's going to be tested later tonight.
Tell them to send everything that they have, and then I'll cross-check.
Oh my God, are you okay? No, Bob, just leave it. Oh, great. Oh, Brittany, why would she hit the crash button?
She was trained at the government labs. Taught to do that.
Great, now we're in lockdown.
Here, maybe I should...
No, Bob, just leave it.
What? What's Bishop thinking? Not taking us seriously?
He's thinking profit and loss.
Escuchen. Soy doctor. Necesito saber si alguno de ustedes ha estado enfermo. Vómito, diarrea. No. Si saben de alguien que está enfermo. A mí no me importa que sean ilegales, ¿eh? No se meterán en problemas, les prometo. Pensamos que hay gérmenes muy malos en la Tierra.
Mi papá está enfermo.
¿Sí? ¿Puedes llevarme con él? ¿Y tú cómo te llamas?
Elvía.
A trabajar, ¿ok?
I've spent my entire life in labs since I was 13. That has never happened before.
Oh, don't sweat it. It's not a big deal.
Yes, it is a big deal, Mako. An antibiotic-resistant strain of C. difficile is killing people, and because of me, we are sent in here doing nothing.
It was an accident. It's okay.
I'm not getting any better, Mako.
What are you talking about?
My eyes. There's something wrong with them.
Oh, God, Bob. What happened? You okay?
I'm sorry, it was nothing. I got clumsy.
I just talked to the safety officer. Unfortunately, you guys are stuck in there for a while.
But it's C. difficile. I mean, it's okay as long as you don't ingest it.
Yeah, it's not like we're gonna be licking it up or anything.
We've got a strict procedure, guys.
Oh, stupid bureaucrats. Rachel, just open the door.
Weston, I'm sorry.
You know what? It's all right. You guys, just hang tight, okay?
Bob, when you do get out of there, come meet me in my office. We have a lot of paperwork we have to go through.
I'm sorry.
It's fine. It's fine. Come on, let's go sit.
This is where you live?
When we work this farm, yes.
Is that the pump that irrigates the fields?
Yes.
Take a look around.
Oye, ¿dónde está tu papá?
Adentro.
Hola.
Papá, este señor es un doctor.
Carlos Serrano. Te dije que no trajeras a nadie. No, soy doctor. Qué bueno que su hija me trajo. ¿Cómo se llama tu papá?
Felipe.
Felipe. ¿Cuánto tiempo llevas enfermo? No quiero ayudar.
2 días.
Vómito, diarrea.
Ya se me está pasando. Estoy mejor. Me siento bien.
¿Está comiendo bien?
No, no ha comido en 2 días.
Felipe necesita ir a una clínica. ¿Hay alguna clínica cerca de aquí?
Sí, en el pueblo.
No, yo no voy a ir a ninguna maldita clínica. Si no lo haces, se puede morir y su hija se queda sin papá. Y si voy a esa clínica, me voy a quedar sin mi hija. Elvira, what's he talking about?
There were others who got sick. They went to the clinic but never came back.
They died?
Immigration watches the place. He won't go. You have to help him here.
Entonces necesito hacer unos análisis de sangre.
Pa, haz lo que él diga. ¿Aló? Hola, abuelita. Papá dice que se siente mejor. Aquí hay un doctor. Yo le digo que quiero mucho. Chao. My abuela says thank you.
Where is your abuela?
Home, México.
has your vision been degrading?
It was all right for a while, at least right after the operation. But then it started. It was sporadic. Didn't realize how bad it was getting, or maybe I just ignored it.
What do you see?
Something like tunnel vision.
I had a math teacher with tunnel vision.
Really?
Yeah. If you were really careful, you could actually sneak out of his classroom while he was still sitting at his desk.
That was cruel.
I suppose. I mean, he knew you were gone. He could hear everything.
I don't want to hear Mako. I want to see.
I know, Bob. I know. I'm sorry.
So, how about you? Are you okay?
I'm getting there. It was a bit slow at first.
Oh, God, I can't do that. I can't do it. I can't. I can't do it. Please, just leave me alone.
Mako.
Yeah.
Mako, please don't tell anybody about my eyes.
Gonna find out, Bob.
I know, I just want to tell David first.
Okay. It's okay.
Okay.
Any hand sanitizer? There's a pit toilet back there. I'm betting it's a source of our C. difficile.
Leaking into the groundwater, then into the river?
Pumped all over the fields. That's the father.
He might have the same thing as Joanna, and he may be developing toxic megacoma.
Antibiotics are basically useless. Anything you can do for him?
All I can do is keep him hydrated, and maybe he'll get lucky. His immune system will fight it off.
Rachel, you're gonna get the samples by tonight, okay? So everybody works late. PCRs ASAP.
Elvia, where's your mother?
She died last year.
I'm sorry to hear that.
My father brought me here so we can be happy.
Okay, well, you're going to have to take charge, okay? I want you to make sure that your father does not get out of bed, that he gets lots and lots of rest.
Will Papa get better?
Yeah, he will, yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Serrano.
Okay.
Bishop? You think we found the source of your problem?
Yeah,
Open pit tree set up for your migrant workers?
I didn't set up that shithole. They did it on their own. You're telling me that's what's screwing me up? Eating like animals out there. Hey, listen, pal. I didn't invent California agriculture. For 100 years, migrant workers have been coming here, supporting their families, making decent livings.
Living in squalor.
I pay the highest wage in this valley.
They're getting sick of their own shit.
Carlos.
How do you sleep at night?
Listen, I support an entire village in Chiapas. What do you do for Mexico?
What do I do for Mexico?
Hey,
Don't
take it
you
easy.
talk to me about
Take it easy.
Mexico. Those people mean
Calm
nothing
down.
to me.
Calm down. Let go of me. Outside. Outside.
Those people mean nothing.
Outside.
They're farm animals to you, you piece of shit.
Outside.
You don't want to piss that guy off, Bishop.
He threatens me again. I'll have the cops on him. So
One of
fast.
the people who died was his ex-wife. Right? They were very close. Shit. I'm sorry.
I don't know. I just didn't want to be with him anymore.
And you've told him that.
Yeah.
And how does that make you feel?
It was a shitty thing to do.
Why do you think that?
Because Milo helped me Because he stayed with me when I was messed up. I mean, he got me through a lot of crap.
How so?
Well, I just told you, he stayed with me.
And that's how come you don't want to be with him anymore?
No. I don't know. God, I don't know. Fuck, I wasn't born with a roadmap in my hand. I don't know how to get from A to B like everybody else.
Makes you think everyone else knows how to get from A to B.
Like, I didn't know that my biological parents were gonna be dead before I was a month old. I didn't know I was gonna lose my leg before I was 30. And I didn't know that I wasn't ready for a relationship. But shit just happens.
You think you had a relationship with Milo?
If I did, I wasn't thinking about it. About love, you know, anything like that.
What were you thinking about?
Me? That's the thing. See, I used him. I used Milo like ointment on a cut. You know, I used him to make me better, and I just sort of took, and I didn't give anything back.
I don't think you really believe that.
Well, I gave him the only thing I had. I told him the truth. What is this?
These are fluids to keep your father hydrated. Respira profundo.
That will make him better?
I hope so. Otra vez. Tú tienes que descansar 10 días. No puedes trabajar hasta que mejores. Now I'm going to leave you more of these bags, okay? I'm going to have to go back to Canada soon. So you're going to be in charge. You're going to be his doctor, okay?
Okay.
It's very, very important that the doctor doesn't catch what the patient has. You promise me that you're going to wash your hands and you're not going to touch him, okay?
Promise. Yo voy a ser tu doctora, papá.
Gracias, doctor. Yo volveré en un par de días, a ver cómo va todo.
Hey, Bob, come on in. You want to see me? We got a week's worth of reports that we've got to fill out. There's time for that. Why don't you have a seat? Just wanted to check in with you.
About?
Well, since the explosion, we really haven't had a chance to talk. I just wanted to make sure that everything was fine.
Everything's fine.
Are you sure?
Why do you ask?
Well, I was looking at your file. You've never had an accident of any sort before.
I'm sorry.
In the last 4 months, there's been 5 minor occurrences, not including today. What's wrong, Bob?
Everything is fine, Weston. May I go now, please?
Sure.
Thank you. So soil samples 18, 19, and 20 all have the antibiotic-resistant strain.
Yeah, from what your samples are showing, it's basically everywhere on that farm.
Fits nicely with our theory. They use the creek water for irrigation. It gets contaminated and sprayed all over the fields.
Well, we'll confirm that with you as soon as we get those latrine samples.
Thanks, Rachel.
So if the water tests negative, then we know that no more bacteria is getting on the field.
And then will the fields be better?
No, because the bacteria is in the soil. But I think with time, we can get rid of that too. This is the last one, 123.
And now will everything be okay?
You're a very positive person.
Why do you say that?
Because you try to always see the good in everything.
My abuela says if you look for good, good will look for you.
I like your abuela.
But you don't even know her.
Can you give me your phone number?
You'll call me?
Of course. To check on our patient. Punch in your number. We should go. Your father's probably wondering when you'll be back. All right.
Okay.
There's millions of migrants working on farms in this state. You can't turn around all by yourself.
Gracias, Hey, todo el mundo acá. La chela para
I've seen that little girl before. What do you mean?
Everywhere you look in Mexico, there are children just like her. That deserve a better life. Otra más.
Don't do this to yourself. You do your best to make the world a better place. I've seen it. All right, you keep this up, you're gonna make me jump off the wagon. You know that. Oh, shit.
Soy el oficial de inmigración. No corren. Esto es un checo de rutina. Los documentos. Nadie se mueva.
So? Great. Thanks, Wes. Riddlemeyer intervened. No charges either side, agreed?
So what about the others?
Let's just call it a night, all right? All right.
So I understand you had quite the night.
It was interesting.
I got the test results on the latrine.
And?
Well, there's C. difficile there, but it's just plain old C. difficile.
Fuck.
It's not antibiotic resistant?
Nope, that's not what's on the field.
So you're saying we haven't found the source?
I'm saying you haven't found the source. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news.
Thanks.
That could be good news for Elvia and Felipe. We can start them on antibiotics.
It just doesn't make any sense. What are we missing? I mean, it's got to be coming from somewhere.
He is not answering.
Okay, help me figure this out for a minute, all right?
Well, there must be another source.
2 separate outbreaks? No, that's way too coincidental. Something happened to that bacterium once it got onto that field.
It mutated?
Let's go with that. Okay. Here's our field. Here's our innocent little bacterium. Fresh from the crapper. Now, how did it become antibiotic resistant?
Another bacterium on the field with antibiotic-resistant DNA?
Good. So, 2 bacteria, they hook up. A couple of drinks later, they're practicing unsafe conjugation.
Or non-conjugative. Could also be transposable plasma.
Yeah, point is, swap DNA. Been asking the wrong question the whole time. What we need to know is what that other bacterium is.
You know, I'd like to check out Felipe and Elvia, make sure everything's okay.
Go. Yeah, Bob.
David.
I need all the soil samples retested.
Retested.
Full microbiology and DNA analysis right away.
Was there a problem with the other test that I ran?
No. We think another bacterium other than the C. difficile might be carrying the antibiotic-resistant information. I need to figure out what it is.
Okay.
Something wrong, Bob?
I'm fine.
I know you better than that. What is it?
I don't want to talk about it.
What's wrong, Bob?
Nothing.
You're a terrible liar. We're going to talk about this when I get back.
All right.
Wes, yeah, it's Carlos. Listen, I needed your position on a phone number. Wes, I'm on the coast highway. How far ahead of me are they?
Okay, Carlos, I'm tracking you now. They're about 30 kilometers ahead. You're closing fast.
What?
I think I found our bacteria. Hello, David.
Oh, yeah? What are we looking at?
Pseudomonas aeruginosa, a very common bacteria found in soil everywhere. Seems to be carrying a resistance marker.
Yeah, there's only one problem with that, Bob. It'd be almost impossible to have it mate with the C. difficile.
I know it's gram-negative and C. difficile is gram-positive.
It's the only antibiotic-resistant bacteria you found out here?
The only one. But I do have some good news. I checked for antibiotics like you asked. The soil was saturated in trichlocarbon.
But the antimicrobial?
That's it. It's in everything, right? Soaps, deodorants, toothpaste. It's even embedded in kitchen utensils, the toys, bedding, socks.
I get it, Bob.
Yeah, and the highest concentrations were in the farm's compost piles.
Where'd the compost come from?
Yeah, I already have that too. It came from a sewage plant in Orange County.
So let me guess, the solid matter is separated from the wastewater, turned into compost, treated for bacteria.
But not for chemicals like trichlocarbon.
Great, nice plan. All this chemical shit gets washed down the drain, ends up on a farm field, kills all the weak bacteria, leaving only the super strong.
And the antimicrobial soaps are only 0.2% more effective at killing bacteria than ordinary soap and water.
Thanks, Bob.
Papá, necesito hablar con él.
Nos vamos a casa.
They've turned off at Highway 53. That's about 6 kilometers ahead.
Ya solo faltan 10 horas para llegar. Entonces veremos a tu abuelita y a tus primos. Regresarás algún día y serás una doctora. Y tus hijos, mis nietos. Papá está muy cansado. Necesito descansar un ratito. ¿Está bien?
Papá,
Te quiero mucho. Mi chiquita.
He's really slowed down, Carlos.
Yeah?
He won't wake. I kept trying.
Ven, querida. Todo va a estar bien, ¿ok? It's okay. Yes, I have to report a deceased body. Side road off the coast highway.
It was the compost, huh?
Yeah. I think it created the antibiotic-resistant bacteria.
This is so fucked. I try to do the right thing. Use recycled compost. 100 other farms, exactly the same thing. Why me?
We don't know yet. We're working on it.
Hands.
Amongst other things.
What now? What do I do? Flame sterilize 300 acres, scrape off the topsoil and shoot it into space?
I wish I had an answer for you.
Fucked. Completely, totally fucked.
Listen, you, have crop insurance?
Not for this.
All right. Well, talk to the EPA. I'll put in a word for you. Maybe there's something the feds can do, disaster relief, something like that.
Appreciate it.
Just let me know if there's anything I can do.
Thanks.
Be almost impossible to...
Pseudomonas aeruginosa, a very common bacteria found in soil everywhere.
Bob, it'd be almost impossible to have it mate with the C. difficile.
I know it's gram-negative and C. difficile is gram-positive.
Electrical what?
Electroporation. See, the problem was that we had two bacterium that couldn't mate, but somehow they'd swap DNA. Now, when I was standing in that field, I realized, for all intents and purposes, I was standing in a huge petri dish full of bacteria. And I thought, if I took that petri dish back to the lab, how would I mutate the bacteria in it?
I still don't know what electroporation is.
It's just a fancy way of saying lightning.
So why doesn't he just say lightning?
The point is, we use electroporation in labs to transfer genetic information from one bacterium to another, right? Just hit the sample with like 2,000 volts of electricity for a millisecond. The theory is that Mother Nature is doing this all the time.
The Earth is struck by lightning 100 times per second.
Yeah, there are teams of microbiologists that travel the world checking sites of lightning strikes for bacterial mutations.
Exactly. So, here's your field. Bolt of lightning hits it, charge zaps a couple of bacteria. Their cell walls break down, DNA from one leaks out and slips into another. Instant evolution, anything can happen.
And in this case, the DNA made the bacterium antibiotic resistant.
What are the odds?
Infinitesimal, but hey, shit happens.
There are up to 3 billion bacteria in 1 gram of soil and 3.6 trillion lightning strikes per year.
So what do we do?
Well, we could try to get every sewage treatment plant in North America to screen for antimicrobials. That'll only take about 25 years.
There's nothing we can do.
Well, it's pretty straightforward. People can stop looking at chemicals for answers to simple problems. Wash your hands with soap and water.
And reserve antimicrobials for clinical situations.
Class dismissed. Bob, principal's office. What? What? What's going on with you?
Nothing. Everything's fine.
Really? Bob, have I ever lied to you?
What happened to the fighting fish? Who ate the squeezable cheese log? Who put the underwear in my desk drawer on my birthday?
My point is, you didn't like it, right? Is Wes giving you shit for something?
It's not that, David.
Then what?
I had an accident. But before it, something funny happened.
Funny?
With my vision.
That doesn't sound very funny, Bob.
No. Things went blurry.
You all right now?
It's not the first time, and now it's happening more often. I'm really scared, David.
What? Oh, no, Bob. Come on.
If there's something wrong with my eyes, I can't do my job. And my job, this lab, it's all that I have.
Okay, listen to me. All our years together, have we ever been stumped by anything? Miranda virus, brown cloud over Mexico City. We figured out what toasted those scientists down in Utah pretty quick, didn't we?
Right.
We'll figure this one out too. Okay? Okay?
Okay.
First things first, I want you to book an appointment with your ophthalmologist, find out what's going on.
We'll leave it all before the thought. The city of our frozen gold.
I just want you to be sure about this.
I am sure.
My mother has a big house, a lot of people taking care of it.
She's your family.
She'd love to have you, she's lonely, and my father died too.
I have family.
You have a lot of family. You have your cousins, your aunties, your uncles, and then, of course, your abuelita.
I want to be with them.
Is there anything that I can do for you? Anything that you need?
No, I just want to go home to Mexico.
Okay.
The atmosphere is not yet clear. We're not yet near. But I don't mind no one.
The FBI received an anonymous call, something about a smiley face you might have received.
Something like this.
The optic nerve in both eyes is degenerating. It's progressive and irreversible.
Okay.
Stage 3 glaucoma. I'm going blind, David. I'm sorry.
Carlos ran with Rachel's son, Craig.
Nice to meet you.
Same.
So you're just visiting?
Actually in transit. Alcon Park. Starting some aggressive bear behavior up there.
Look.
What's on your face, man?
Those aren't burns, are they?
Smaller blisters, black in the center, surrounded by redness and swelling.
You know what you're describing, right?
Yeah, anthrax. What the hell's going on up here?
You're talking terrorism.
Yeah, Wes, that's exactly what we're talking about.
In the forest, it's a massive biological weapon.